Way we start this episode
Oh
off.
God, you talking about the one where dude was saying whatever? Oh. Yeah, all right, yeah, you got it.
Yo, that shit had me dying, yo. Like, bro, like it's so it's so crazy. And this was in the Chick-fil-A line. Like,
What made him say this to this dude? That's what I'm curious about.
it was an accident I think that happened, and he just tapped someone's bumper, and then he just hopped in the Chick-fil-A line.
Mm.
Like he just hopped in line at the spot, and then just was like, yo, and just started saying what he said. Like, I don't know, that was just a wild conversation.
All right, y'all ready to start?
Yeah, let's do this.
Yo, what's going on? Or I'm sorry, let me try that again. Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is episode 8. The
yo, scratch that.
All right.
I got you.
I was gonna say let's Spencer it.
All right, yeah, Spence, go ahead.
You sitting there fidgeting.
Wow.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is the Highly Advised Podcast. You checking in right now to episode 8. I'm with me and a couple of my co-hosts this week. You know who I am, is Spence. I got 2 of my other brothers with me. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Yes, sir. It's Lyle, aka Big Cozy, Too Cozy. Everybody know that name, so no other introduction. Go ahead, Nigel.
This is Nigel. How y'all doing this week?
That work from home getting to you, man. You shutting down early, man.
I'm tired.
Yo, Lyle. Hey, yo, Lyle. If you look at Nigel, don't he remind you of like Kimbo Slice right now?
He does. With glasses on too, and without the gold teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, I guess
or
you're right.
Either you look like you Kimbo Slice or you just came home. Like
You look like you need a cigarette, bro.
I'm black and mild.
Man. It's like, yeah, man.
I got some Henny in the freezer.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, man. I don't know what's going on. I still ain't get my stimulus check, man. You get yours? It's like, yo. It's like, oh, word, you did? Yo, I need some of that. Nigel, right now, you look like the type of person that asked me if I got the stimulus check just to, like.
I went over to my friend's house one time, and she was introducing me to her boyfriend or whatever. I shook his hand and I had a watch on. As I shook his hand, I saw his eyes go directly to my watch, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and I was like, all right, I know what this is. Like, look, stared it down too. Like, he not even looking at me in my eyes, just looking at my watch. Like, that was who I was.
You had the Rolex on?
Something like that, you know.
Something like. Something like. It was like, you know what I'm saying? Yo, like your man's, he was talking like your man's he was probably like his man's, you know, something like, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't got this watch, don't talk to me, yo. Don't talk to me. You can't afford this watch. Don't talk to me. Like,
well, speaking of, are we gonna get started on that this week?
Yeah, let's get
it.
All right. Let's go into it. So Tekashi's home and he's back online.
How do you feel? Because I saw you. I know you probably threw away your free 6ix9ine shirt. Now that he back.
You know, I had to throw it out. It's sad, but the way I feel about it is this, right? I mean, he's doing what he was doing before. I think that he's good at marketing himself. But one thing I will say is this. I feel like if he doesn't kind of switch up what he's doing, the troll thing is cool and it works for him well. But he needs to add a little something different to his game, or I feel like he won't be around forever. That's just it. Like, you know, a lot of people go around reinventing themselves, and it just so happens that, you know, he went to jail, he came back. He can kind of go around doing what he's been doing for a while, and it's going to work for him even longer. That's fine. But I feel like the time span of that, it will be short if he just continues to do exactly the same thing. So eventually people will just be like, yeah, he's a troll, and we'll move on. Who knows?
Oh, I was just going to say, like, yeah, I agree with everything you said. Like, I think right now, him being a troll, he's a very smart when it comes to branding himself, because the way he even came back home and, like, essentially trolled. Like, oh, I know this is going to run numbers, which it did. Like, he did 1.9 in a short week. Like, off the IG live, which
I
was
thought it
a
was straight
number
2
that
million.
it hit 2 million, but like the majority of it was the reason why I'm saying 1.9 more of is the fact that it hit like 2.1, I believe. But then it just teetered right back down to 1.9 for the most part. Because I ended up watching like the whole live thing on YouTube. I watched it on
So you support snitching?
Hell no.
What
Hell
a way
no.
to twist the narrative.
Yo, he thought that was a layup. Like he thought he was about to have me. So you embraced the rat, right? So, like,
I'm just saying. Wow, did you watch his live?
Yeah. So what
So you
happened
support
was-
it too? Damn, never mind.
did you watch his live?
No, I don't support snitches. Come on now, you know that.
So you have the 369 shirt.
Yo,
come
Yeah,
on,
the
come on. You think I
369
really got the shirt? Come on,
Yes.
sarcasm.
Yeah.
I saw you, bro. Yo,
Right.
He had his own custom
bro.
one.
Yeah, yo, listen. I don't know if you peeped it loud, but when we went to see the UFC fight last year, like
Yeah.
you know how Nigel had that green hoodie on
Yeah.
under the shirt.
Oh.
He was like, yo, cause I think I saw him earlier. I was talking to him for a little bit. I think when you had went to the bathroom or something. He was like, yo, bro, you think this shirt will be lit out here? I was like, yo, nah. He's like, yo, but we not even around like them type of people. I'm like, bro, just put the shirt away, yo. Just put your hoodie back on, man. Keep your hoodie on, man.
No, that makes sense because that day, it was a warm day. We both had clothes that fit the weather, and he was just wearing a thick ass,
Hoodie.
super. Yeah, and I'm like,
When did that fight happen?
In March.
Was
In the
Takashi in jail at that time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was last year. This was
I don't
March of
know.
last year.
Hey, y'all got it.
Takashi went to jail. Takashi went to jail in November 18, I believe. So
Yeah.
you was out here embracing the rat.
Hey
And
man, if y'all can find the shirt, then I'll believe it. Until then,
Yeah.
I don't believe anything. Y'all got pictures from that day too. Pull up
yo.
on me with that shirt on.
Hey yo,
It makes
listen,
sense
say
why
less.
Master
You know my
Splinter
body.
was-
Say less. Ladies and gentlemen, just know that will be the cover art for this next episode. All
I
right.
can't wait. I can't wait to see this picture, please.
Nigel. But
One that's
Nigel,
not Photoshop. That's actually me with the shirt on.
Listen. I'm gonna
me-
just have That's what I'm gonna make. I'm gonna make sure
You're gonna make the cover look like
You
that
with the
because
shirt
you don't
on.
have anything that looks like that.
Because it
But
exists.
you'll
Don't
make
get
it.
mad at
I'm
me,
sure it'll exist by the time the episode comes out. Go ahead.
It exists because it's real.
All right. Yeah, I get it.
Listen, man. Listen, I photoshopped stuff before, but the stuff that I photoshopped of y'all, I just ain't showed to y'all because I'm keeping it for jokes later. So
No, that's fair enough.
matter of fact, Spence, before the episode over, pull a picture up so this way we can so we can tell the listeners you seen it.
I got you, man. I'm gonna let you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you know how you moving, yo. Yeah, I got you though. I heard you got a tattoo on your chest that say "Rat Bastard," yo.
Oh
Wow.
man, yeah. I definitely got to see that.
For real, like
On
so
a serious
back on
note.
on the serious note, on the the King of Rats. It's like what I told Nigel in the past, and I think I probably told you too, Spence. If you're an average guy, normal guy, normal citizen, and you were to put in this position, a lot of people would understand, okay, why he did it. But the fact that this guy, he's part of this lifestyle where it's a taboo to snitch. He's the ultimate OG triple blood street guy. A guy who ordered a hit against Chief Keef, and now that he's coming out and being like, oh well, yeah, I of course I snitched. That's not cool, and I don't think that it's not. It portrays the wrong message if you're part of that lifestyle. You know what I mean? And I feel like that you can't be a street guy and a snitch and then expect to get respect. It doesn't work that way. It'll never ever work that way. And and I was saying he'll never get love from the hood. Yeah, 6ix9ine, he broke YouTube and He
I don't
got
think
this.
he cares about that though.
No, he doesn't. But I'm talking about for like the people that are emotionally invested,
Oh yeah.
But his fan base is no longer the people from the hood. His fan base are normal people. You know what I mean?
His core fan base has always been suburban America. I
Even
think
more
the
so today.
thing, yeah, I think the thing that was pushing him a lot prior to that, that had the alternative, the quote unquote alternative fan base, which is the ones that brought him to the dance essentially. I think a lot of that was predicated on him having the people that were backing him. Like he had some real right people. Like I'm not able to say real right because I'm not sure what the right term is
No, real right.
for those.
Real, no,
Well,
real
I'm
right
I said
is right.
I know that, but I'm just saying, like, in terms of, I'm not no gang member, so you know how you can say one thing that, but it may pertain to a certain area of blood, a certain
True.
clique.
Yeah.
So, with all due respect, like, he attached himself to some real guys at the end of the
Yeah.
day, no matter how you want to put it. Like, I don't know what the correct terminology is in their world, but they were some real street dudes. Long story short, what he ended up doing was attaching himself to that to get himself that hood fan base, that street fan base. Pretty much was appropriating the culture overall because in that live he says, "This isn't 6ix9ine talking. This is Daniel." He was like, "Let me just say this right now. Let me just be Daniel for a minute." So you're letting me know, like, well, for one, we all know this was a persona, but it's kind of now letting you know, like, okay, this is 6ix9ine. The trolling guy is 6ix9ine, and who this persona of I think now it's becoming who he really is. Daniel Hernandez is the persona as well, and I think that persona is what he's going to use to actually transition into another space of music that would be financially benefiting to him and his label. But I think just like not loud, but just like Nigel said, you doing all of this and like using this as your marketing tactic, it works short term. Eventually, you're going to have to do something else. Like you eventually realize like, okay, this is a movie. At the end of the day, now that he's back home, this is nothing more than watching a train wreck. We're waiting to watch the train wreck, and that's
Pretty
all
much.
that it is. And the unfortunate part is when you're waiting to watch a train wreck, either one or two things happen. People say, "Oh, this is taking too long," or "Dang, it's sad that this happened." And pretty much to be on the latter end of that means it's what it means. I don't really feel like I need to go into detail as to what that means of the latter end of that, but it may end up being a bad situation for him in the long run. I can't condone anything that I just believe you gotta take responsibility for anything that you say and do, no matter if it's right or wrong. That's just my personal beliefs at the end of the day. I'm not no street guy, none of that. Like I'm a regular run of the mill, go to work every day type of guy. I get money too, but like it's just on the legal end. You know what I mean? Like
I think that goes for everybody in here. And I think my standpoint is even though he's younger, I don't think he's too young to not know what he was doing. And I think
he's
because
24, bro.
yeah, he knows better. And that's the thing. Like regardless if he's just a normal person and not a gang guy, not a gang member or anything like that, he's old enough to know better than what he did. He got involved with some people. He what's the word I'm looking for? He used them for his benefit. And
Right.
now he's paying
Absolutely.
for it. That it just is what it is. And while it's working for him to a certain degree, I can only imagine that to a certain degree, he needs security 24 hours a day. He's constantly on the lookout. It just is what it is because while middle America might think it's very entertaining, I don't think that everybody's looking to just give him a high five.
For starters, I think we could all come to agreement that we don't support what he did, and we think what he did is clearly his own fault. He put himself in that situation. This goes to show to people who are not familiar with that lifestyle he was portraying or whatever. There's consequences in everything that you do, and it's best for you to really just be who you are versus trying to be something that you're. Because when you get caught up in being something that you're not, you're going to end up facing some consequences that you may never even recover from. I think that one of the problems that I have with this whole thing is I feel like the only reason why he's as popular as he is, right now, and it might be for the next few months, who knows, is because of the fact that there's people entertained. When Meek came out and said, "Oh well," Meek kind of came off like he was hating, and I like Meek. I support Meek, but I feel like he made himself look kind of like a fool in the whole situation because it's like, the dude just had a newborn baby, and out of nowhere, he just started, he's talking trash about Tekashi. And I'm not saying he has to support him or like what he's done, right? Because, no, we don't like, but we're not out here wasting our time or energy on. And then he brought up, like, Nipsey Hussle. And it's funny because I've seen an old clip of Nipsey Hussle saying, there's no need to entertain the clown shit because it's eventually going to die out. So it's kind of like, it's like he got like emotionally invested with. Now, I mean, Meek, he came from the streets and all that stuff like that. But I'm not entirely critical of Meek or whatever like that because he's a celebrity status. The world of a celebrity entertainer is much different from each person. Now, I see people on my timeline being emotionally invested with this whole Tekashi thing, where they're making endless posts talking about rap this, rap that, and I'm kind of like, why are you so invested in that? One, it's not affecting your livelihood, and two, it has nothing to do with you or your life or anybody that you're with. I could see if you were part of that whole fiasco that went on with him, but if you're not, I just feel like it just comes off as like you're trying to join the bandwagon. Kind of like when Trayvon Martin, everybody wanted to scream Trayvon Martin. And I'm not talking about the celebrities or the people that actually went out there to make a difference. I'm talking about the people that didn't do anything. They were like, F Trayvon Martin, not F Trayvon Martin, oh, that's F George Zimmerman, F George Zimmerman, blah, blah, blah. But once that wave kind of, you don't hear nothing about that. And I feel like that.
In the words of Jay, streets are done.
Yeah, right. You have a lot of bandwagon people, and I just feel like it's really silly and it's really lame. You know what I mean? You don't gotta like Tekashi, you don't gotta support him, and I agree with all the street guys that don't support that and they like that. You're right. He should have never ratted, and the fact he ratted, he should have get any respect. It's not right. But for all the people out there that's making all these emotional posts and all that stuff, I just feel like you're just coming off hating because you're only fueling what's going on with him now. You know what I mean? That's what he wants. He wants attention, whether it's positive or negative.
Right.
I definitely can agree to that. I don't agree completely with the Meek thing. I think I do agree with the fact, like, it's better not to say anything, because to not say anything means it gives zero attention to this person. But I do believe in that same circumstance, I think it's something that's a little, it's not even bittersweet. I think it just leaves a sour taste in a person's mouth. Definitely someone that comes from that space or whatever, like that. And I think it's just a struggle for someone probably like Meek and people that have been in that situation. Because you got to remind yourself, it's probably less than 2 years ago Meek was sitting in a jail cell. Right. So like, and I think a lot of that comes from. I think a lot of that is different. I know, but what I'm trying to say is, I think being someone that was fortunate enough to have the backing he had and have the resources that he had overall to get himself, and I'm not even gonna say completely out the situation because it's still going on. I think just that experience of being inside, and even him saying, like, him speaking to the people that are inside, because I think he was in Gen Pop or some shit like that. You having those, right. Like having those occurrences with people that are sitting behind walls, and like I think he said he freed like thousands of people so far since the viruses came, like, and he's freed thousands more prior to the virus prior to this pandemic. I think a lot of it is that, okay, like, I'm out here really trying to save people from going to jail, and a lot of times people making the wrong decision in life, X, Y, and Z. But then, like, the same people, a lot of these guys that are sitting in jail, like, I hate to say it, for some of them, not all, I don't know the statistic, but a lot of guys end up going to jail because the state says they have a witness. For someone that knowing that you're trying to free good people, that them trying to get themselves, the only means to survive was something illegal at that moment for some of them, and they ended up in jail, and he's trying to free them. The reason why they're in jail also is the fact that someone ratted on them. I think that's one of the things that probably makes someone like him sick. Like a lot of people were upset and sick about it. To me, it doesn't feel right when I'm watching this kid this man. I don't know. I don't people calling him a kid because he's a grown man. Like watching this guy say, "Well, yeah, I read it, but yeah, like I apologize. I'm sorry that I snitched, but y'all mad because y'all not here. Y'all mad because I make more money than y'all. Like it's like embracing all of that is just very horrible. I'm not. Well, it's horrible. It's not. There's no way around it. It's horrible. But I think also for the most part, like it's people have to stop giving the attention that they're giving it.
Well, people are buying in. It's
Yeah,
old school.
exactly.
It's old school
'Cause-
pro wrestling, right?
Exactly.
He knows
50 Cent at his
exactly.
finest, minus the snitching.
Yeah. It's like
Right. He's the heel.
He's the
Absolutely.
heel, and people are getting emotionally invested about it. I feel like yes, the people that were involved in the situation they have every right to be angry and lash out. The people who face similar situations they have every ability to lash out and get angry as well. I feel like for normal folk who has nothing to do with the streets, who's never even seen anything to do with the streets and all that stuff, you have the right to be like, yeah, I disagree and I don't like that. But I feel like if you're out there, you make endless posts online, on your timeline and social media and all that stuff, like why? I feel like that's bandwagon. You know what I mean? And I feel like when Meek came out and did it, Meek ain't no regular guy. So I'm not saying that. But when Meek did it, I was like, damn, Meek, you don't have to entertain, dude. And when he went ahead and said the whole thing about Nipsey, I was kind of like, what? And then I seen the video with Nipsey. He was like, yeah, we should have entertained this guy. I'm like, I feel like, well, is Meek getting emotional about this shit? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like Meek is bigger than 6ix9ine. He is. He's bigger than 6ix9ine. He got more money than 6ix9ine. He definitely got a whole lot more respect. And I just feel like with the whole 6ix9ine thing, playing into like, oh, it's effed up. You're doing this. You're doing that. You're only giving the guy more attention, and you're only going to keep this. You're going to keep his trend going. And I feel like the best way to end the 6ix9ine saga is you leave him dead in the cold. Don't even ignore what he got going on. But I mean, it's easier said than done because you got a lot of people who are emotionally invested. If I know you and you're supporting him, like supporting his actions and all that, it makes me like, well, maybe I should question you when it comes to like if something real happens. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I'm like, I
Fair enough.
I don't understand how you support a guy that he blatantly switched after putting himself in a situation. You know what I mean? Whether you think how that situation ended was right or wrong, if you're part of that lifestyle, you got to live by that and die by it. You know what I mean? That's why
Right.
people like back in and I don't want to get too deep, but back in the medieval times, imagine you were a soldier for a kingdom. No, for real. Imagine if you were a soldier for a king and, you swore in that you're going to protect your life for the king and queen. And during the middle of battle, you turn bitch or you sell in secret. That's a big taboo. You know what's going to happen
It's treason.
to that motherfucker?
Treason,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's treason. He's immediately dying and probably going to die in a brutal way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll put it like this, right? Like, if let's say the three of us were plotting to rob a bank. If we're all plotting to rob this bank and we all go through and we get the money, and the cops bring one of us in and they say, "Hey, we think that you robbed the bank stealing money. Was that you?" You'd be like, "Look, yeah, I was there, but so were they." I don't like. Don't get me wrong. I understand nobody wants to be in jail at the end of that, but at the end of the day, you are a snitch, and that just
Yeah.
is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In this situation, it's even deeper than that. It's even on a different level than that. Like if we all go in to rob a bank, and it's still snitching regardless. But like if we all go and rob a bank, right? We all vow to say, okay, we're going to go do this illegal activity. Now imagine if it's me and Nigel about to rob the bank, and Lyle's like, yo, listen, I'm gonna give y'all some bread. I staked the place out. Da da da. Go. I'm gonna have y'all go rob the bank or whatever. We go rob the bank. As we don't even get caught. Let's say we made good on the bank or whatever. Lyle gets seen flashing too much money, and they're like, yeah. So we think you were involved in this. Look, Nigel did it. Spence did it. I'll tell you where they live at. I'll tell you about some other crimes that I did. What you want to know? It's like it takes it to a whole nother degree. And like history has always shown what happens in these situations. I think right now, seeing this situation and then this rapper named Adi Boom versus Big K. Well, to give you a backstory, Adi Boom had just came home from doing a 5-year sentence, right? So this was his first battle back in 5 years. And when Big K started the battle, he pretty much brought out papers, court documents that showed that apparently Adi Boom snitched. Like he's a real life, for lack of better terms, in this case. Because I didn't read the paperwork, but he's a rat, apparent from what they're saying. And right now, Adi Boom, Adi Boom's career is on hold because of this battle. Like not on hold, but his career is in question by like all those that hold like significance within battle rap in terms of like battle rappers, especially. Like,
well,
I don't.
Why would it be? Because I mean, just for like the competition of battle rap, what does that have to do with I'm not saying that him ratting is cool because it's not, but I'm saying like, isn't that two separate things, right? Because a lot of niggas
it is two separate things, but I think the same occurrences. A lot of those guys that are battle rappers, they all kind of have, not all, but most of them have similar backgrounds. Like, no matter if you're looking at the Loaded Luxes, the Sue Surf, especially Sue Surf, the Sue Surfs, K Shines of the world, like a lot of battle rappers come from like have a street background to some degree. A lot of them probably been in the street or something to that nature. And I'm talking
about the dot guys.
I don't know much about the King of the Dot guys. I don't know what be going on in Toronto like that, man. Like,
no, not all of them from Toronto. It's just a Toronto-based promotion.
Yeah, I know that, but it's just I don't know about a lot of them. Like, to be honest with you, I'm really more of a smack guy. Like, I'm more into
like
URL.
You like the street shit. I feel you.
Yeah, like I don't even want to keep too much time on this subject.
I mean, there's not really too much more to say. Like we don't really agree with what 6ix9ine does. We're kind of all waiting to see what the ending result of this all is going to be. And
honestly,
as of right now, he's a smart dude.
Honestly, I'm not waiting to see what's really because
You're the only one.
No, I mean, fine, let it be then. Because I don't really care. You know what I mean? I just don't. Like, I listened to the song that he had, and I didn't even listen to it all the way. To me, if the guy succeeds or whatever like that, it'll be a shame, But if he doesn't succeed, everybody's going to be happy. It's like the whole Trump. I feel like we're not supporters of Trump, but we're not sitting around every day. Ooh, I can't wait till he gets out of office. See, we're not doing that, and I feel like that's how we are how I am with 6ix9ine. I'm not waiting to see the downfall, and I just don't care what goes on. I really don't. I'm not putting any energy to that for a lot.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I will say this though: the one entertaining thing, the crazy entertaining thing about the 6ix9ine thing was that they found out his address. A fan gave up his address over the weekend, and like he had to be moved like immediately and relocated. So I think that was just a very like he's on probation. I think for like I don't know how long. I don't really know the circumstances to his parole or probation or anything, but that was just very interesting in itself. But I will say this: like his music still is the same, and I think to be honest with you, I really don't care what happens to him. Like his music career is very interesting to see something like this, like in terms of a case study of. But at the end of the day, like he'll use the whole jewels and all of that to troll people. But like Don Q even said, imagine spending the most money, all that money on jewelry but you can't go out the house.
The rappers that's making the most comments outside of Meek, because Meek is actually he's a big name rapper in the game. They're not really popping like that. And I'm not talking about in their local neighborhood and shit like that. I'm talking about like on a world stage. Don Q, even though Don Q can rap, Fatboy SSE, and people like that, nobody's really checking for that.
What about Lil TJ?
I mean, come on, really?
Listen, he's one of the listen. He's one of the hottest. He's one of the hottest artists, young artists right now. Let's keep it a buck on that one. Like we can't no matter what. If you look at right now, career wise, he's hotter than these other artists, that the other people that you're bringing up, especially Fatboy SSE, because he's not really a music artist. He's more of a comedian. Don
Well,
Q. Don Q had.
he's trying to rap them. You know what I mean?
I
He's
know
not
he
an
is.
artist like that though. That
Yeah,
doesn't really count, you know.
I don't. I'm not respecting his pen.
All right, is what is it? Hit It From the Back. Yeah, that's me. He made a song, but I mean, we all know he's more of a comedian than he is a rapper.
Right. Yeah, but that's a bad comparison because he didn't put out a project. Fatboy SSE put out project. I don't think he's in the plural.
Bro, project. Like, okay, you can put out projects.
Didn't Lil Duval put out a project or something like that?
Yes.
Is he a rapper?
He went on tour.
Eddie Murphy put out a project too, right? I mean, I know he's not a rapper.
No, come on. We're not.
I'm just saying.
Eddie Murphy had tried to have a music career with
Your Girl,
and he had a hit. Your Girl Likes to Party All the Time. That was a hit song, I believe. Like, I don't know how well it did on the charts based off that time, but
pretty sure it did
at the same time, yeah, like he was a huge figure at that time. This is in the 90s, especially. I'll put it like this: when it comes musically, I have more respect musically for Lil B and all the projects that Lil B has put out than I do for Fatboy SSE and any of the projects that he's put out. So
I agree with you 100%. I'd rather listen to Lil B than Fatboy. Even though Lil B is a terrible rapper, but at least Lil B is entertaining. So like, I'm just saying, like, I would consider Fatboy an artist just because he came out with the projects. That's all I'm saying.
I can respect that. Like, I guess to me, I think I would have to see more because it's not like he's not Donald Glover to me. Yeah, he's not Miley Cyrus. He's not Miley Cyrus to me.
No.
Like
I don't even think he's that funny. Like, he was funny at first. But
I'll put it like this, and these are my last words on the 6ix9ine guy. His career is going to mimic a lot of these sensationalized people. Like, he's going to have a good run for another year. Possibly, if he can make it that long, and who knows, and we'll see. But I think he's gonna fizzle out just the same way these other guys do, and it's just gonna be a little bit different when the label can't pay that money anymore, when people aren't willing to pay the money for security, when you've kind of created more turmoil for yourself and kind of doubled back down on what you're saying.
Why don't we move on from 6ix9ine and speak on some other things like
Naveed?
I couldn't hear what you said, Spence. What did you say?
Nah, I was gonna say, do you like pretzels?
Yeah, man, I love pretzels. They're one of my favorites. Too bad I'm not allergic to it, like somebody we know.
Yeah, like
Nav. On a personal level, but yeah. So let's pay respects first before you should gonna show no criticism.
You know how I feel about Nav.
I like a fan. I like his music. As a person, it's kind of like I don't know him as a person. Some of the things he said publicly is questionable for sure. But his music, on the other hand, I think he makes good music for his subgenre of rap music. I think Good Intentions is actually a good album. He outsold Lil Durk by a good 20 to 25,000, but his main hater Academics will never ever show it because he's a cheerleader, and actually you wouldn't believe it if you just follow Academics page, but Nav even outsold Kalani, where he's going to be the number one. Yeah, Kalani is projected to do 60,000. Nav is projected to do 75. Lil Durk is projected to do 50. But according to Academics, he has the number one rap album and blah, blah, blah. But I looked up the real shit, and Nav has outsold him. And it makes a lot of sense, because I just can't imagine too many people really listen to Lil Durk like that. And this is not a knock on Lil Durk like he's trash, but I just think Nav has the bigger name and he has the more popping songs.
I'm surprised. Like, I don't know.
I think it was a good album. It's debatable if you think his last album or this album, which one is better. That's up for debate, I guess. If there's ever a time for that. But shouts out to Nav on the music side, and I think he's probably going to get better too.
I think Nav. I listened to Nav's project. I wasn't overwhelmed. I was a little underwhelmed by it. There were some good songs. I think his songs only flourish when there are features to it. I think Nav is... I think part of the persona that is being portrayed of him, to me, is kind of makes it hard for me to like his music. And I'm a big believer in like separating the person from the art, but sometimes I think the person does influence the connection to your connection to the art. This whole thing with him talking about the pretzels and I'm allergic to pretzels. Like more than likely it was a joke. I'm assuming that it was a joke, but at the same time I'm like, he's kind of a cornball to me because like I think when his last project, there were reporters saying like Nav is vocally saying, hopefully when this album drops, people will start to notice me. Like I walk around and nobody wants to say anything to me. Like I pull my car up, I pull a $300,000 car up in front of like people at TMZ, and they just ignore me. Like, dude, do you know who I am? So like I think a lot of that to me just makes me dislike this. It makes me not care for Nav as much. His music is some mid to me when it doesn't have a feature on it.
So here's my thing about Nav, right? I personally think I've never really been a big fan of his music. I think he sounds a lot the same on a lot of his songs.
So
However,
to the pack and you get it for me. I could get it like all for cheap. Tell her what she needs. I kick in my feet. Tell her the dog. I hit in my beep. All on my phone. I calling the. That's how he raps. Like every song to me.
Number one song in America until Two came out.
That's nice. So I don't really like his music, and in reality. No, in reality, like I personally don't know him as a person, so it's hard for me to judge him. But what I will say is that he seems kind of odd. That's what I would say. He just seems kind of like somebody that I don't think I'd personally be cool with in real life, but I don't really know him. Maybe he's different than the way he portrays himself. What I will say is that he has a few songs that I think are kind of cool. I think he's a decent producer because some of the beats that he gets on are kind of nice. But otherwise, as an artist, I'm not really the biggest fan. His voice is da 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 da. But when he seems to go from different styles like that, I don't mind it so much. It's not so bad.
Well, I was gonna say, I'm not gonna lie to you. The song Brown Boy, I think that's the song he did by himself. That was actually a pretty good song. I think I like that song more because it's conceptually. But go ahead. I just wanted to say that. That's all.
I think all of us, we might try to deny it. All of us actually like the characters. No, who they.
I thought you were gonna say something else.
We like the characters who they portray, and that's probably why we really listen to a lot of the artists that we like. Right? I agree with Spence. Some of the things that he does publicly is kind of corny, and I don't know if he's like looking for like approval, and that's what it kind of comes off to me, where he's looking for some type of like mainstream approval and all that. And I feel like he doesn't need to do that because the music should speak for itself. You know what I mean? And he gets support from some of the biggest artists in the game, like Young Thug, Gunna, and stuff like that. So like right there off the strength of that, he shouldn't worry about like, oh, why doesn't TMZ look at me? Because all it does is just makes people be like, that's kind of corny, bro. You're worried about TMZ. You know what I mean? Off the album, I like it. I actually more or less like it because of the melodies, and I like the production off the album. And I didn't even bother listening to Lil Durk's album because like a lot of Lil Durk's projects, they're nothing to swing your bat and get a home run from anyway. Kehlani, I'm hearing good things about it. I didn't listen to it, but I believe things are good because everybody says that she's a good singer anyway. Never really hear.
I listened to a little bit of her album.
I haven't listened to it yet. I'm very interested to listen to the album just because of the remarks I've heard circling her album in terms of like subject matter. I'll check it out sometime this week. I just haven't. I'm very interested in how her album goes.
Yeah, I listened to a few songs earlier. I liked what I heard so far. It didn't sound bad. She has a nice voice, and the song sounded good too. Just overall, I'm interested to hear the rest of it and see what it sounds like.
Yeah, I think I can definitely agree to that. So, but I was wondering, did you guys? I know you guys are watching a fight, but I just want to bring up like the whole Jill Scott thing. It was definitely one of those battles that wasn't a battle. It's kind of like, all right, you finally have a chance. You old enough to drink with your two aunts, two of your dope ass aunties, and like they just giving you some game and like just have like you having a good time. Because I'll put like this: all the neocentric Jones that I know. Like a lot of most of the girls I know were in that live. Like I think it did like maybe almost 300, maybe 250, somewhere between 250 to 300,000. Yeah,
No, it broke the versus record at 730,000.
it did.
Yeah, 730,000 was the peak number. It broke the versus view record.
That's kind of dope.
Yeah,
I think they
I think
deserve it too.
no, well, not only I don't think they not only I think they deserve it just because of their careers and their resume, but I think that's great. I looked at it from like women's perspective, and I'm like, I think it's amazing that women can pull in those type of numbers as well, especially when you have good talent like Juice and Erica Badu. You know? Like I feel like that's a respect.
Right. I think that's great for them as far as like being able to pull all of those numbers. And next week we got Nelly versus Ludacris, it looks like. Which me personally, I think Ludacris should wash him. Not to say that Nelly, not look. I'm gonna give Nelly his respect because Nelly does have a catalog of hits. I don't think anybody's taking that away from him. It's not just like, oh, Country Grammar or one or two like or Hot in Here. Like no, like Nelly has hits, but Ludacris has more.
Nigel, even though that you think that Ludacris has more hits than Nelly and all that stuff, I disagree with you. I think Ludacris is definitely between him and Nelly. But for some strange reason, man, I feel like Nelly had more hits overall. I think he had more memorable hits, and I think that Ludacris. I feel like they kind of peaked out at the same time, like longevity, and I feel like that. When I'm thinking of Ludacris right now, I'm thinking of two songs. I'm thinking of Stand Up and what's that one song? The What's Your Fantasy to See? That shit.
Southern Hospitality.
Yeah. No. Southern Hospitality was the other one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Shit, my bad.
Yeah. Well,
Fantasy.
yeah. Yeah. So
I want to lick.
Backseat windows up. That's the way we like to roll. Yo, he was talking some wild shit when we was kids, yo. I can't believe we was really reciting that shit.
Yeah. What
I
about
loved every
Move
minute of
Bitch
it.
Get Out the Way?
That song is a hit too. But what I'm saying, like, I feel like with the Nelly song, I feel like we could probably name off I can name off the more Nelly song. But I will say Ludacris is for sure the better rapper. No hands down about it. But I just think Nelly might edge him in the hits.
What do you think, Spence?
I think in the hits department, in terms of bigger hits, I think Nelly might have had bigger hits. But I will say, I think if they were to battle each other, I think Ludacris is getting him out of here. Just because I think though Nelly's career was very short because like he left the game. So and I can go all deep into that, but I'll just leave it at he left the game because of some personal matters. And so we have a Sweatsuit album, Country Grammar. I think I don't even think there's another album, and I think that country music stuff, right? Like Ludacris.
He did.
What?
Right, so he had Country Grammar. That was his very first album. The album between Sweat and Suit and Country Grammar.
I don't know
what was that, number one or something like that.
Don't give me the line.
So and then he had Sweatsuit, and after Sweatsuit, then it was like basically the downfall of Nelly, and I don't mean downfall like.
Well, he left the game. I think he had his sister. It was either him or Jewel's. Their sister got sick, and they left while they were like pretty hot. Because I think Nelly has bigger hits, but I think Ludacris is just he has big. I think he has big enough songs that he's getting Nelly out of here. Long story short.
Yeah, I think even if he doesn't have the same, like, let's say Nelly does have more hits than Ludacris.
Yeah.
Or bigger hits, I guess is a better way to put it. I think Ludacris should have more hits in order to make his way through that battle.
He's not beating Ludacris, yo. Pimping all over the world, roll out.
No, I don't think
a fool move big.
He has hits, man. A decent bit of hits. And that's not even features either.
He has hits, hands down. I'm not saying that Ludacris doesn't have hits. I just think Nelly was just going to edge him. But I think Spence put her in a better thing, which will probably prove me wrong, was the fact Nelly had the bigger hit versus the amount of hits. Because Ludacris does have a lot of hits. I guess I should have argued that Nelly had the bigger hits. You know what I mean? So, but as far as like a longevity type of thing, then yeah, I have to retract my statement and say, Ludacris will probably beat him because he could throw banger after banger after banger.
Yeah. I'm not sure about that either, though. But I think we'll just have to wait and see what happens next week. But yep.
To be honest with you, this isn't even a fight. This isn't even a fight. Nelly doesn't have enough. Nelly has 4 number ones. Ludacris has 5. Nelly has 11 top 10 hits. Ludacris has 18. And this is according to Billboard. This is according to Billboard. Nelly has 35 songs on Billboard. Right? He had 35 songs on Billboard while Ludacris had 56. So this isn't even like honestly, this isn't even a fight. Honestly, like, and granted, his number one hit, his biggest number one hit is where he's featured on Yeah with Ludacris, which not with Usher, I mean, but at the same time, it looks like for Nelly, his biggest number one hit is Where's the Party At remix. Like,
really, that's interesting.
Yeah, that
is interesting. I would have. That's
one of his biggest ones. The 4 are Where's the Party At, Dilemma with Kelly Rowland, Hot in Here. And I don't even remember how Dilemma went, honestly.
That was like the first big in the early 2000s. That was like the first big rapper R&B.
That was a hard song. That was hard. Yo, do that again.
Y'all just gonna get silent.
You just
say it again. I don't know why you're like you don't know the words, bro. You know the words.
I don't, but I can show y'all the vocals if y'all really want to hear them. It's no problem.
All right, so are we done with this take? Because
I think Nas will just close this out with the serenades that he just gave us.
Yep.
Yeah, the sultry sounds of Nigel No Shame, man.
I try my best, you know.
And to the listeners, we did find that picture. We can confirm that he did have
shirt. So just wait.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We found it.
Just wait.
You found it in Photoshop, I'm assuming, right?
No.
He just wait. He just showed you the picture all over the. And
that's crazy.
The listeners, we haven't given video yet, but we might break that trend just to show.
Really?
We might have to Skype call one of our fans one of these days and let them actually see what's going on here.
Anybody who's curious and seeing in this picture, please message in because I want to see it too. I haven't seen it at all. I haven't seen the T-shirt they're talking about either. So
you threw it away?
Anybody. I've never bought it, so I can't say that I've never seen it in my life.
It was a gift.
It was a gift. I see what you did. It was a gift when you bought the 6ix9ine album. It came in. It was one of the package deals.
Yeah. That's
a lot of sense.
It does. Are y'all ready to end the show? y'all ready to end it?
Yeah, man. We just let people know we did find a picture. The picture's coming soon.
You will see it coming very soon.
Yeah.
All right.
Soon. All right. On that note, y'all take it easy. Stay safe out here during quarantine. And we'll be back next weekend. I hope y'all stay safe. That's it.
Before one more thing. This is gonna be like we didn't really get to some of the stuff we wanted to get to on this episode. We're gonna cut it a little short. But what you should do is you should check into the MMA podcast that we're gonna release this week as well, talking about UFC 249. This is kind of like a episode 8A or B, depending on how you listen to it. I probably said that same thing on the other podcast too. Same difference. Go and listen to it. It's good.
Yeah, definitely check it out.
Yes, sir. So that's it. And you guys been tuned in to 2/3 of the realest trio out here in the podcast. No, I said 2/3 because one nigga supports a guy that just snatched. So
and that was a rat.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. All right. Y'all been highly advised.
And happy Mother's Day.
Yes, happy Mother's Day. It's gonna be a little late by the time y'all hear this, but happy Mother's Day. Y'all deserve praise all days of the week.
Yeah, and I happy Mother's Day to all the women that's listening. I hope y'all enjoyed yourselves, and I know some of y'all out here that's strong women. You know what I'm saying? I'm quite sure there's some many of y'all DMs right now. You know what I'm saying? Answer back sometimes. I'm quite sure some young men out there trying to be a good, stepfather or something like that, or trying to help you in your motherly actions along the way. No, not even trying to be funny. So shout outs to all the mothers though. Y'all really do.
Nice
And
mom.
the
Anybody's-
grandmothers. And all the, shout out to
I ain't
all
listening
the
to no rap.
abuelas. Shout out to all my abuelas, all my madres, all my
Facts.
titis.
All right, we're getting out of here,
Because
y'all.
he loves
All right.
us. Because
All right.
he-
Have a good
haters,
week, y'all.
haters, haters.
Y'all been highly advised.